record to this computer. All right. So if y'all need to go back and see this, I'll post this to the to my YouTube page so you guys can go back and see how this is set up. All right, so the due date for this, yes, I am going to extend this to October the 7th. So you'll have the rest of this week plus next Monday to be able to work on it, get it ready for your presentation and turn it in. For today, I specifically want to talk about how you can think about putting this on your Behance page and a couple of issues that may come up and a few things to make it a little bit simpler for you. Just know, next week we are going to start the game box unit. So we're not going to spend any time in class working on this. It'll be up to you to be able to finish up everything on your own. Go into the modules page. Make sure for your interactive design kiosk that you're doing, just the kiosk, you don't have to do the app. Whatever exhibit that you chose to do, it is the correct size. I think most everybody's already got this set up, ready to go. You do have a good idea for your buttons, your interface elements. Most everybody has all of this. I want to see some sort of action for being able to move back and forth between all of these, whether it's scrolling, pushing, or sliding left and right. Make sure there's some sort of switch or box. This is especially could be done if you're in the credit card checkout. Maybe they're clicking on something or activating something somewhere in there. They've got a little box that they can check on. I do want you to record a video of your prototype of your kiosk somehow. You can do this in Adobe XD. So when you set up the elements and go back and forth through it, that's what I demoed last time. I was able to show what it looks like with my little finger moving around as I clicked on all the little parts to it. Or you can do this in PowerPoint, or you can just animate this in Adobe After Effects or whatever else that you have as well. So far, so good? So that's one thing that needs to be part of your presentation that we're going to do. We're not going to demo this to the class. We don't have enough time to be able to go through it. Now, when you're finished, I did say email your video files and upload it to Canvas. If you don't have your video file on your Behance page, you can certainly email it to me or try to upload it to Canvas. Everything else needs to be on your Behance page, ready to go. Make sense? That's all that you have to turn in for me. But if you got problems with the video files, there's that. To help you guys out, especially since I like to see everything mocked up or put in context for your presentation, I've downloaded a variety of different blank kiosk templates that you can use. This is going to be a Google Drive folder. Close this out. And I tried to do a variety of different styles, both horizontal or vertical. Some of them have people in it, and some of them are just like a blank kiosk. So if I looked at these, you can see how it's just kind of almost an illustration of it. And some of them are at an angle, and some of them are straight on. So if you wanted to use any of these, you can download them. They're all JPEGs. You can cut out or mask away the background and just isolate whichever one that you want. Or if you wanted to say to use this one, you could isolate this one and then cut out the little hand, and it looks like he's actually tapping on and using yours as well. We did this in graphic design three or four, to where you had to make up your own little mock-ups and be able to put a picture inside of it. I'll demo how I would do this for mine as well. But these are here to help kind of give an idea of what your design is and how you can use those. So far, so good? Pretty cool? Okay, this way you don't have to find, I know there's some Photoshop mock-ups you can find. Some of them are not the right size, and it's kind of hard to get it to look good in here. Let's talk about how you can lay this out for your Behance page. So I was playing around with this earlier. Again, this is not everything that's on here. This is just to give you an idea of how to start. The presentation of this project is really what this project is all about. So yes, I've gone through and I've got a bunch of different little screens that I've got. But when I go to put this on Behance, I'm still going to treat it as if it's a portfolio presentation for me. I've got a title, so Dinosaur Planet. I've almost treated this as like a little logo in itself. So that's the start of it, an interactive experience. I just put that on there. I do a little description about what the project is about. And you'll notice as I scroll through, it's more than just the mock-ups, and it's not every single page has to be on here. This mock-up just gives me an idea of what it would look like if it's inside of a kiosk. As I scroll down, not everything has to be mocked up. I can go ahead and just showcase a couple of my pages nice and flat. This gives me an idea of how I treated the layout of everything without having to mock it up. When you put it inside of things like this, sometimes it's really hard to read and see the small details. When you showcase things like this, it's easy to read, and I can see some of the smaller details as well. Pretty cool. Oh, can you get the door real quick? So as I lay this out, think about things that you could mock up and things maybe that you can keep nice and flat for your layouts as well. You don't have to do every single page. Hear me, Lauren? Don't have to do every single page. Instead, do some of the major pages. So obviously like the landing page, the first little welcome screen, or the major pages for each of your dinosaurs, or maybe some of the facts and details for the different dinosaurs. But you don't have to show all 250 or whatever, however many that you have for your design. Instead, give me an idea of how you treated some different kinds of layouts. So I've got that here, got a couple of pages down here. I didn't do a mock-up or I didn't do a demo for my credit card. So that's one thing that's missing from my presentation. So I could put my credit card on here as well. But as I scroll down, hey, I've even got another mock-up for a person interacting with my screen. If you need a reminder, here's how I would put a flat screen into this little area. We'll do it for my start screen. So I want it to look like she's clicking on this particular image. I'm going to pull this image into Photoshop, and it's already the right proportions. So I can scale this down, just make sure it doesn't distort too much. And if I do edit, transform, and it's the distort transformation, this allows me to click on the individual corners, and I can line up my corners and put them right where they need to be. Again, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect because we're going to mask it off as well. So there's that. If I hit return to lock it in, now it's in perspective and it kind of looks like it's sitting inside of it. But obviously, what's the problem with this? Yeah, her hand's still covering it up. So what I need to do is I'm going to choose this picture. And for now, I'm going to turn off this start screen. I just want to see this picture, which is actually this one right here. I'm going to select just the white area that's inside of this area. So I'll use my little magic wand tool. When I select it, you can see it cuts out around her hand. It actually does a good job of getting inside of her fingers. Now, when I select my start screen, the actual layer, and I add a layer mask to it, it's going to cut out everything else that's around it. It looks like she's now tapping on the screen. Pretty cool. So that's how you can quickly and easily mock up on the inside of any one of these screens to make it look like it's part of it and use it as well. What's up? These are going to be due next Monday. Next Monday. We're not going to work on it in class, but next Monday is when you can have it done. We're going to start the next one. By the way, Rebecca, I'm recording this, so if you need to go back and see what I'm demoing, I'm covering a lot of cool stuff on this. So for my presentation, I've got a title, I've got a few mock-ups, maybe one or two, and then I'm showcasing a few of my flat designs. I'm also decorating my page. It's more than just the project I've got. I've got some other little decorative elements in the background. I've got my dinosaur skull. I've got some tracks that go along with it. This just makes my overall presentation look good. It flows well. It's really, really nice. It adds just a little extra decoration to an otherwise just flat design. So far, so good? Okay. So now that I've got this, I can save this up as a JPEG. I've actually already done it, got it on my desktop. I'm ready to go. The next thing I need to think about is my video file that I'm going to work on. Now, when you do your video file, think about it this way. You can, if you want to, go through all your entire app. So in one big video, you can show how you're going to purchase the tickets. And then in the same video, you're going to click through all the different dinosaurs and all the different information. So then that would showcase the entire thing. Or you could break up your video. You could do one video that just showcases how to do the credit card, and then do another video that showcases just how to do one part, so just the Tyrannosaurus information, or just the one painting information, or whatever else that you've chosen as well. So you don't have to do one video. You can break it up into several smaller ones that you've done as well. With this, what I'm going to recommend you do, in the past, I've always said make an animated GIF out of it. Well, these tend to be a little bit longer and a little bit larger than a GIF can work with. Instead, upload this to YouTube. I've got my YouTube page pulled up. Let's see if I've got it over yonder. There it is. So when you go to YouTube, sign in on your school account. You can create and upload your video. Again, you can select your little video. I've already done this for mine, so I'm not going to upload it. If you do upload it and it's a vertical video like mine is, YouTube is going to treat this as a YouTube short. For whatever reason, it thinks that this video is recorded on an iPhone screen or your camera screen, and it's going to treat it as a short. So it doesn't show up in my normal videos. If you have a landscape kiosk, it'll show up in your normal ones. If I click on shorts, here's my Dino kiosk that I have as well. So that's where I'm going to be able to find it. What I would do is upload it to YouTube and then embed this YouTube video into your Behance account. It's going to play much, much nicer. So let me show you how I'm going to set up my Behance account so this will work. Let's jump into Behance. And if you're taking notes, there's a couple of things to consider for this one. So I'm going to go to my Behance page, and I'm going to share my work to start a new one. All right, so from here, I've got one image that I saved in Photoshop of my Dinosaur Planet Behance page. So there it is here. If I zoom in, you can see I can scroll down, and here's my entire presentation. Looks really good, flows really nicely, works really well. What I want to do down here is I want to put my video on just below it. So this is where people can see the interactivity part of it. To add a video from YouTube, we're not going to use this one. Do not use this video and audio. In the past, I've just had too many problems trying to embed a native video file. Instead, use the embed code to do this. All right, so where can I find my embedded code on YouTube? On the link. Oh, it's not just the link. It's not just the link. If you're taking notes, good, you're thinking on it though. I'm going to go back to my channel content. Now, I do need to find the link to my actual YouTube page. And so here it is here. You give it a second. The link, so what you're saying is up here, is not the embed code. The embed code is actually an HTML code that's kind of hiding inside of this. If you will, right-click on the video, here's the embed code. That's where they're hiding it in if you've got a short. You can do the same if it's a regular video. So I'm going to copy this embed code, and that's what I'm going to put inside of Behance. When I say embed, check it out. This is the video down here at the very bottom. Pretty cool? Now, I've got another little problem, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say continue, and I'm going to call this my Dino Kiosk thing for now. And I'm not going to worry too much about the details. I'm just going to go ahead and publish it and show you what this looks like once it's published. All right, so now it's published, and this is what it would look like if I turned it in. I can scroll down. I can see the entire design. The video, however, is like super huge. Like I can't see the entire thing all at once. The reason for this, by default, it's going to scale up your video. It's going to make it as wide as my entire design or my entire width of my canvas. And that's way too wide for me to be able to see everything. What I would like to do is to have it nice and small so that I can see it and inside my entire design. So if you're taking notes, here's what we want to do. I'm going to go back and then let me edit this project. Where's my edit links? Usually, oh, here it is. Edit project. Whenever you upload a video into Behance, there's a little icon up here that says, give the embedded some breathing room. It adds some padding on all the sides of it. Clicking on this will automatically scale it down. Pretty cool. Now, when I go to play it, when I see it in Behance, this is going to be much nicer to see than a huge video file that's down at the bottom. That's the magic trick to think about. The other thing you can do is it's going to add some white space around everything. That's not bad. You know, you can have it on there, but I've got this nice green background that I would love to have green showing through down here as well. So if I want to change the background style of this, let's find the RGB value for this green background that I have. I'm going to go back to Photoshop. I'll pick up my color picker. I can click on this green and 93, 118, and 99. I'm going to take a little screenshot of that just so I can see it as well. 93, 118, 99. As a matter of fact, I'm going to copy that hexadecimal code. So I think that's what they use anyway. So if I jump into Behance, I think it's under the styles. Let's make sure. There it is. Here is where I can change my background color. Hey, here's that hexadecimal that I can type in. Now that I've got the same green, you get an idea of what it looks like. I can say save and check it out. Looks really nice, flows really well. Let's update my project. Let's see what it looks like. So now I'm going to go to my main page. By the way, I didn't design a cover for this, so you can see what the default cover was. But when I click on it, got my dinosaur planet, can scroll down. It's got a nice little mock-up and introduction. It's got some other design. I can see all of the flat designs, and I can read those really well. This makes your project look really good. This is what your reviewers are going to want to see. Then they're going to scroll down and see it mocked up again. In this case, it gives an idea of how people can work with it. And check out my video. It fits nicely inside of my screen. I don't have to scroll up and down to be able to see it. And the colors in the background even work well too. Pretty cool? Okay. So that's how you can set up your Behance account once you get everything nice and saved up. The last thing I'm going to give to you. If the video proves too difficult, if there's some part of an animation that's just not working out or something that's a little bit more complex. For instance, Brooke had an idea. She wanted to do kind of a carousel scrolling effect that's not as simple as just clicking on a button and having it transition. Like we're going to have to really animate that, probably using After Effects. For the purposes of the project, go ahead and do as simple of an animation as possible. Focus on getting the entire project laid out. Then later on, even next semester, if you need to, spend extra time working on the actual video animation. Even if the video animation is not finished, if your video doesn't look good, if the rest of it looks good, it's good enough for your portfolio. The video, we don't want that to be a sticking point. That's just something that I'm looking for. I want the rest of your presentation to look good as well. So if the video is bad, go ahead and focus on getting this done, and then you can go back and do it later and work through that. All cool? Okay. The rest of this time is yours to be able to work through this. Show me what you got. Got any other problems? Again, I've recorded this. Stop sharing. We'll stop recording too. I've recorded this, so I will try to